Hey, good morning. Good morning, everyone. I hope you are doing well here today. It is great. It's a Memorial Day weekend, and it's going to be great out here. I hope you guys can hear me okay here in the studio. Um, Ms. Brown, I just wanted to get on here just for a minute. Obviously, one of those things, today is one of those days where um, it's a big deal to me just because of my family and those that have went on before us. And so I wanted to get on here today and say Happy Memorial Day to those of you who uh, really to celebrate those who have went before us and created, really the freedoms that we enjoy as a nation, the freedoms that we enjoy here in the United States. So thankful for those who went before us. And I just wanted to come on here just for a minute because I got some folks um, that I know that I want to, really pay homage to here this morning. My grandfather, of who I'm going to talk about here in just a second, um, was huge. And so I'm going to go on and jot down and send this really. I need to get this in my family group, particularly. Um, this is the Alexander family group, and then this is the Ford family group. I'm gonna get this in here this morning. Those of you who don't know me, my name is Herb Ford. I am here in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and it is great. It's a beautiful day. Just got back from Atlanta here this week, spending some time there. I was working actually, but I was there with my son doing. He was doing some work at a conference, just learning and those kind of things. But it is a great Monday, and I am excited. It's Memorial Day 2023, and today I'm just coming on to pay homage to those with a couple of Memorial Day memories back in the day. And so I'm a part of two families, the Alexander Williams family, but also the Ford family. And I was thinking about today because I was thinking about my grandfather who is my namesake, Herbert Ford. Okay, and I was thinking about him today because he is a relative that did something dynamic, and I got it posted on Facebook. I always posted on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and whatnot about my granddad because, but I call him Paw Paw. All right, so Paw Paw served in the Army and he served in the Navy. So I think it's just dynamic for somebody to serve in one military organization, but he served in two of the armed forces, and so I'm so thankful because today, though you're gonna be eating barbecue, though you're gonna be at parades and you're gonna be hanging out and you're gonna be doing a lot of different things. The one thing that we definitely need to do is really honor those who have went before us, to create the place that we call the United States of America. Some of them giving even the ultimate sacrifice so that we could be connected and we could live in the freedoms and liberties that we live in yet today. So I'm excited about that and to just honor those that went before us. I remember my grandfather. The one thing that I remember about him, Papa, and I remember a lot of things about him. He lived in Chicago when I was growing up on a street called Crenshaw, and it was crazy because Crenshaw had a lot of the Fords on that street. We had some uncles and aunts that lived there on the street there in Crenshaw, there in Chicago. So when I grew up, there were people that lived across the street. There were people that lived two houses down from my grandmother, and three houses down from my grandmother, and so many of those. But my grandfather, Herbert Ford, okay, my namesake, him being that he served in the Navy and the Army. I just remember when we would go over from Flint over to Chicago, we would spend some time there with him. And as we would spend time and do things that we would do. It was awesome because we get to go over to his house. And when we went over to Pawpaw House, I'll just be honest with you. Um, at Pawpaw House, it was one of those deals where things were awesome because we had carte blanche. We could go in and do anything pretty much that we wanted. You know, I mean, within reason. But we had the run of the fridge is what I'm talking about. We would get up in there and he had all kinds of different pops and stuff like that. So we would get over there. We could always expect a few dollars or whatnot from him. But I remember going over there and we would open up a refrigerator and he would have that Royal Crown Coca-Cola, and that RC. Y'all heard of RC in Chicago, I'm sure. But we would have that RC, and man, it was some of the best soda. And you could drink as much as you want, as many as you want. And Papa was all good with it and whatnot. So Papa was a tall man. He was very, very handsome. Uh, I don't know that I got my looks necessarily from him, but Papa was very handsome, great guy. Loved being, as long as I was able to be with him. He ended up passing away from prostate cancer, but not before he served uh, twice, once in the Army and the Navy for the United States. And so today, I'm just remembering some of these Memorial Day memories of my family members that went kind of before us to do some things. One of my uncles that has went before us was my uncle Douglas, and he was named after my grandfather, Doug Alexander. And I remember, Uncle Douglas didn't play. I just tell you that right now. You know, we had a different kind of relationship, me and Uncle Doug, but it was one of those things. He was a great guy. Loved his family to death. I mean, loved his family. Um, Tough love sometimes, but loved his family, and was a great was a great guy. I know that he served, I believe, in Vietnam. Is where he was, and just those that went before. I mean, like we don't know anything about that. Those guys went before, and I'm just thankful to be that my family had their part in serving in the military. And so today is just some Memorial Day memories that I'm just thinking about those folks and whatnot. And the other person I was thinking about was my uncle Malcolm. I believe Uncle Malcolm. I know he served in the military. He may have served in Vietnam. He is still alive there in San Diego. He and his wife, my aunt Catherine, live there. They are staying there with their daughter, my cousin Camila, who is an attorney and scientist. I mean, she got a lot going on out there. But I just remember the one thing about my uncle Malcolm was he was always, on that intelligence, man. I mean, for real. I mean, he raised a daughter that went to, I believe she went to MIT and end up going to some other schools. I don't know if she went to Harvard or not. I'm not sure, but he always was pushing us for education to make sure that we're educated, that we continue that education was a tool that we could use to get us in any door. And so I just remember him, and he was always kind to me, always kind to me. And he was a straight shooter. There's something about the Alexander men; they were always straight shooters. They would tell you they now they had some tall tales. I'll tell you that. You know what I'm saying? You talk about athleticism and different things like that. But I just remember my uncle Malcolm. He was so sincere and really wanting you to succeed, and for people of color to succeed in general. And I just remember my times at his home. They would have like a either day after Christmas um, event at their house every Christmas when they lived in Flint, and we would go over, and they used to make the best eggs and kind of she would make this scramble with eggs, peppers, and a little bit of meat in it, and all that kind of stuff. So I remember all of that. It was just great, and so um, really, really excited about that. But today, I just want to come on and say thank you, thank you, thank you. Even those that are serving now, those that have served, thank you so much for your sacrifice to our country and the people that live in it to support the armed forces and all that they do. My employer right now, we actually do a lot of military recruiting. I was just in El Paso, Texas, 2 weeks ago, recruiting military folks that were going to be discharged pretty soon. And so it was really, I didn't go to the military, but I always loved what they stood for and the different things that way. So we just honor you today with all that you are doing, and just really say thank you for doing what you do and have done in order to support this government and the freedoms that we have. You know, I was told I think it's somewhere close to 400,000 people that are in the Arlington Cemetery, and it's something to think that they traded there today, um, really traded there tomorrow for our today. And so it's always good to honor those that have went before us in what they do and how they do what they do. Tonight, we're gonna have a special. It's gonna be Memorial Day, a special time tonight. Join me with my good friend Dr. Mel Betty. Dr. Mel Betty is a great guy, a man of God, pastor, still kind of pastors. Really, to be honest with you, group of folks and whatnot with his grace for today broadcast that he's doing a tremendous work. Can preach, and really excited to be with him tonight on our segment, My Faith Story. And this is a segment tonight that we're going to be talking about. He's going to talk about where Bible faith came into his life and how it's helped him navigate the things. Now, Dr. Mel is a double doctor. So he has a doctorate in pharmacy, but I think he has something in either pharmacology or something. He'll tell you all the details about it, but he's got two doctorate degrees. I don't have one. Now, they would say because I have a master's in theological studies and a master's in divinity. If you put them together, is a doctor. But I never did a dissertation, didn't have to do any of that, whatnot. But I just wanted to say thank you to those of you who are serving. This is Memorial Day memories, and just taking a minute to say thank you. We just broadcasted this on everything that we got, just to say thanks for your time and your service in the U.S. Armed Forces. All right. Hey, that's all I got today. Join us tonight at 6 o'clock. Look forward to seeing you. All right. Have a good one. Bye bye.